Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for today, Friday, June 23rd, 2023. I am Beverly Telesford. In the headlines, forecasters say Cindy and Brett pose no threat to Grenada and its dependencies. Jahim George remanded on non-capital murder charge in relation to Rickelson to Saint's death. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell addresses unemployment as his government celebrates 1 year in office. And GUT President says multi-grid teaching is becoming problematic. Regionally, TNT to host CARICOM celebrations in July. Internationally, hundreds still missing in migrant boat accident as sub-accident captures more attention. And in sports, the GCA Super 50 bowls off tomorrow. Zimbabwe and West Indies are set to face off at Harare Sports Club. The details of these and other stories after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening, this is GBN News at 7. Grenada and its dependencies are not under any tropical storm watch or warning, as tropical storms Cindy and Brett pose no threats to the country. The Meteorological Office at the Maurice Bishop International Airport informed the National Disaster Management Agency NADMA that convection has diminished from earlier as Brett moves into the Eastern Caribbean, but scattered showers and thunderstorms persist within 90 nautical miles of the center of Brett. Forecaster Tricia Miller gives us the latest weather update.
Okay, good evening to you viewers of GBN. So just to give you an update on Tropical Storm Brett, at 5 p.m. this evening, the center of Brett was located at approximately 13.1 degrees north, 66.6 degrees west, which is approximately 170 miles east-northeast of Curacao, or just over the eastern Caribbean Sea. And it's currently losing strength. However, there is still some lingering rain and gusty winds associated with the system over our area. And this is forecast to continue into tonight into tomorrow morning, but improve after that tomorrow morning. Right now, maximum sustained winds are at 50 miles per hour, and the present movement is west. And on this forecast track, Brett is expected to continue to move across the eastern and central Caribbean Sea and weaken within the next couple of days and then dissipate just about Sunday. So as mentioned before, for us here in Grenada, we still expect some lingering rain and gusty winds, but that's expected to improve by tomorrow morning. From the Met Office, this is Trisha Miller.
Rose Hill St. Patrick resident Jaheim George made his first appearance in court on a non-capital murder charge on Friday. He was arrested and charged by police in connection with the country's 11th homicide, the stabbing death of 22-year-old River Sally resident Riculson Toussaint. Details in this Nisha Paul report.
Jaheim George, also known as Nurse, a construction worker of St. Patrick, appeared for the first time on a non-capital murder charge before Magistrate Neville John at the Sates Magistrates Court on Friday. Attorney Peter David is assisting him in the matter, which stems from a stabbing incident that resulted in the death of 22-year-old Riculson Toussaint. Toussaint was rushed to the Princess Alice Hospital at Marybow in St. Andrew for treatment after being stabbed in the upper chest area with a knife. He succumbed to his injury just after 3 p.m. on Tuesday. The fatal stabbing occurred meters away from the Sates police station near a popular supermarket on Main Street. A video began circulating on social media shortly after the incident, showing the chest of the now deceased man covered in blood. According to the Royal Grenada Police Force, an autopsy has been scheduled to determine the actual cause of death. Sources told GBN that the murder accused and the deceased are known to have been at loggerheads and have inflicted wounds on each other in the past. Murder accused George has been remanded to the Richmond Hill prison and is scheduled to reappear in court on July 10th. Non-capital murder is an indictable offense punishable by a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. It is not bailable at the level of the magistrate's court, but applications can be made before a high court judge who has the power to grant bail for indictable offenses. It is unclear at this time whether Attorney David will be seeking bail for his client in the high court. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
The move to revamp the Marketing and National Reporting Board is a bit delayed as the committee mandated with the task lost one of its members. Rina Thomas has this story.
A new chairperson has been appointed to the technical committee dedicated to revamping the Marketing and National Importing Board as its former chairman, George Harford, passed away. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, in a recent interview, said the revamping of the MNIB experience as a new chairman was being sought.
Technical working group that is committed to looking at the revamping of the MNIB. Regrettably, the chairman of that group, Mr. George Harford, passed away suddenly. So that set us back a little because we've had to reconstitute and have a new chair. Cabinet recently appointed a new chair and an additional member. So we expect that going forward things will galvanize and we'll be in a position to recommence the work of the technical working group.
The cash-strapped MNIB was downsized in February this year after poor management was identified as the leading cause of the state-owned entity's financial woes. According to the NDC administration, the conclusion was reached after a review of some of the MNIB's financial and operational reports, as well as independent auditors' finding. Prime Minister Mitchell says government has had no request to pay salaries for MNIB's employees since it was downsized.
We expect that we would have from the traditional MNIB an update as to how it's been able to manage the scaled-down operations. I can tell you there's been no request for payment of salaries from the government. Which is good. And yes, and at the same time, we would obviously be updating the public as to the work of the technical working group and where we are with that. But as I said, because of Mr. Harford's untimely and unfortunate passing, that has delayed us a bit. Because what happened is that after he took up the position, obviously he fell ill, and that delayed us. We were sort of waiting to see what the situation would be.
Rina Thomas, GBN News.
In more news, the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers has spoken out against what he described as the Ministry of Education's high-handed approach to implementing multi-grade teaching in schools. Nisha Paul has the details.
President of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew, raised concern over the Ministry of Education's approach to multigrade teaching during a recent interview with GBN News. Multigrade teaching refers to the teaching of students of different ages, grades, and abilities in the same group. Bartholomew is of the view that without the necessary preparation, multigrade teaching will put a lot of pressure on students and teachers alike.
It's a skill and you must train, you must prepare your teachers for that. So because you're talking about the merger of two classes, let's say for example a grade 3 and a grade 4, a grade 2 and a grade 3. You're talking about different curriculum coverage here. And one teacher in a class, all right, doing in terms of teaching both 3 and 4, grade 3 and 4, or 2 and 3, or whatever, 5 and 6 together collectively, that must create problems. And what the Ministry of Education will be doing there is putting the school, putting the principal, putting teachers under a lot of pressure.
The GUT president said to add insult to injury, there has been no official communication from the Ministry of Education, and this is becoming very problematic.
Principals are complaining about a WhatsApp message from DU. So in other words, the paper trail and the documents are not there. All right, so we also calling on principals to be very careful. When the Ministry of Education or any DU asks you to do those things, you must have official government or Ministry of Education letterhead so you can trace it back.
The union, Bartholomew added, is not going to sit idly by as the ministry's approach to multigrade teaching also threatens teachers' jobs.
So we are calling on the Minister for Education to really be reasonable, because what you're seeing there are a lot of things that would be a grievance and some problems to teachers. And yes, teachers are satisfied with some of the things that the government are already doing in terms of paying the pension and doing other things. But the Grenada Union of Teachers, as I said, don't play with teachers and underestimate our teachers. And if the teachers are not happy, teachers are a group of persons that are sometimes very easy to turn. And so I think that there is a grievance, there some misunderstanding there, and the Ministry of Education has to really and truly do better than that and treat the Grenada Union of Teachers with some more respect.
GBN reached out to Education Minister David Andrew, who explains that multigrade teaching is being considered as a response to decreasing school population in some on the island.
In relation to the multigrade teaching and the supposition being banted around that people have been mandated to do that, I am not aware that that has happened. In fact, what I know has happened is that in a response to decreasing numbers and decreasing school populations in some primary schools, ministry officials asked principals and school officials to consider multigrading or multigrade teaching as a solution.
Minister Andrew explained that several schools have been engaged in multigrade teaching over the last 7 years.
So this is it's principally an attempt to find a solution to declining numbers in some of the schools. And rest assured, it's not being imposed, but the ministry is prepared to offer training to the teachers. And in fact, we are aware that the differentiated instruction and the multigrade teaching will require is something that they are familiar with in some part, but we are aware that it's going to take a bit more challenge, and we are prepared to offer them the training. So,
okay. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
This is News at 7. Coming up, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell addresses unemployment as his government celebrates 1 year in office. Stay with us.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994. or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences. Hassle-free home ownership.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
St. David's, we know you love bingo! And it's been a long while, but now we're finally coming on Sunday, July 2nd from 5 p.m. Bellevue Plainfield is the place to be for the massive $40,000 in cash money bingo. That's right, 40 big ones could be yours. Tickets are only $35 for one or $60 for two. Don't you dare miss this one. Sunday, July 2nd, everybody's gonna be heading to Bellevue Plainfield. St. David's, we're coming. Tango nice again.
Tango nice again. Tango nice again.
Important announcement for CIBC First Caribbean customers. Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited invites prospective customers to collect their debit and credit cards, checkbooks, night depository keys and bags, and deposit books at its distribution center located at the GV Steel Conference Room, number 14 Church Street, St. George's. The center will be open from June 19th to July 8th, 2023, operating from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, and from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. You will be required to present a valid photo ID for collection. To avoid any delay in your service, we encourage you to visit Co-op Bank's distribution center at your earliest convenience between June 19th and July 8th, 2023. We look forward to welcoming you home.
Welcome home.
We've been working to improve our services at the NIS, and we'd like to share some of the improvements with you. We understand that the cost of basic goods is rising globally. To address this, we are pleased to announce a 25% increase in the weekly minimum pension payment from $46.40 to $58. We have also adjusted our minimum survivor's benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will now receive 100% of the minimum rate or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased pension. We believe this change was necessary to ensure that our survivors receive the support they need. If you have any questions on how this impacts you and your family, please contact our informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your Social Security provider.
More chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more. Or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more. With Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Apply for a Home Easy loan today for a chance to win a cash prize. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Terms and conditions apply.
What powers my smile? The sun. And it does a whole lot more. Through programs of the PURC, I use the sun to produce my own electricity. So can you, using the sun and other sources of renewable energy. Sign up today at PURC.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Apply for a Home Easy loan today for a chance to win a cash prize. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell says that to tackle the unemployment and underemployment issues in Grenada, we will first have to revolutionize various sectors on the island. Details in this report.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell says a lack of skills training in various areas must be remedied to adequately address the issue of unemployment in Grenada.
The government could only employ so many people. That's the reality. And so it is important that our economy is grown in such a manner that it can absorb the unemployed and that we can create new jobs and create new avenues for persons to get employment. We also have to address the underemployment situation because in many instances there are jobs, but our people don't have the skill set to take those jobs, and that therefore means our skills training, our education system clearly has to be, in some cases, revolutionized if we are able to capitalize on the opportunities that are available in Grenada.
In a recent GIS interview, the one-year-old leader went on to say that our educational system plays a key role in addressing skills training as the gateway for preparing the future workforce.
Is our education system producing sufficient people who have that skill set? I don't think so. Do students actually know these jobs exist and know what is required in order for them to be able to fill those jobs, and jobs that I think they can fill at a relatively young age? I don't think so. So we definitely have to address the relationship between the job market, what the economy, the skills the economy requires, and what we are doing in our education system, and the almost total absence of a dedicated skills training centers that are government funded or government operated throughout the island. So that is one area that we definitely need to tackle.
Motivating people to become successful entrepreneurs by not just providing financial assistance, but also how to manage finances is important, says the Prime Minister.
It's multifaceted, it's wide-ranging, and I think we recognize that it is not an immediate fix, but an ongoing situation. The other thing I would say is that our people have to also accept that, you don't need to have a job for life. You could lose your job, retool, reskill, and get another job. And so one of the things that I think our education system has to factor in is the ability to retrain adults who might have had a 20-year career, for example, in the tourism. You could be 40 and have spent 20 years working in a hotel. And if for some reason the hotel goes under or it's challenged by, say, COVID-19 type situation, we should be in a position where we can reskill and retool our people so that they find employment in other industries that are growing. And I think that is part of what we have to.
Rena Thomas, GBN News.
The Ministry of Education has identified a need for more technical and vocational skills training. However, it isn't to target those who are not academically inclined. Details in this report. Following the decision by the Ministry of Education to award secondary school placement to every child who attempted the 2023 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment exam, questions were raised about the possibility of altering school curriculums to include more technical and vocational subject areas. Minister of Education David Andrew addressed the need for technical and vocational education during government's town hall meeting on Thursday at the Grenville Secondary School. However, he urged Grenadians to stop looking at technical and vocational skills education as an alternative to academics.
One of the things I want to challenge you on is the way we've talked about and promoted technical education and skills education. We've looked at it as a people over the years, even within education circles, as something that you undertake when you cannot do math, when you cannot do English. Well, he's not so bright. He's not academically inclined, so let him take a skill. That's how we viewed it. I am opposed to that view. In fact, I despise hearing people say those who are not academically inclined.
While some schools already include technical and vocational skills training in their curriculum, the Education Minister announced collaborations to introduce it to a wider cross-section of schools across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique.
We recognize that technologies are extremely critical for this day and age and educating people in this day and age. And so we've collaborated with a provider to provide coding services, coding and technology training to students in secondary schools, selected secondary schools across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Then we'll talk about the TVET expansion policy. Recently you heard that the cabinet approved our TVET strategy and policy. Now, technical and vocational education and training talks about all of the skills that are required to deal with the various projects, the various things that we have to do across our country. And the truth is there's been a major gap between what we produce in our school system and what is required in the world of work. The TVET policy seeks to bridge that gap and provide recommendations to bridge those gaps.
This will be done through the Grenada Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, an advisory body to the Minister of Education on policies, strategies, and programs for the management of technical and vocational education and training. Activities to mark Media Week 2023 continued Friday with a visit to the Sister Isles. A hash starting at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday at the Lassages playing field, followed by a panel discussion on Monday evening on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program, will bring the curtains down on the week of activities. Media Week 2023 began on Sunday, June 18th, with a church service at the St. George's Baptist Church under the theme, a focus on the education and health of media workers. Pastor Paul pronounced God's blessings over the week of activities and urged those in the profession to uphold their integrity against all odds. He encouraged them to carry out their duties without fear or favor. On Monday, June 19th, members virtually and in person attended a training session at the Parliament building with a focus on parliamentary procedures aimed at educating media workers to improve the quality of news reports produced on parliamentary developments. On Wednesday, members of the executive presented the Ministry of Social Development with school supplies to be distributed to beneficiaries of the parenting program and other similar programs within the ministry. Making the presentation to the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Social Development, Ms. Veronica Charles, was President Gerard Joseph, Treasurer Sophia Phillip, and Secretary Tonia St. Louis Lawrence. President Joseph stated that the presentation of school supplies is in keeping with this year's theme of education, as the association strives to improve the capacity of its members. Mother Nature takes center stage. It's time to take a peek through the GBN ISAW lens. Adverse weather conditions felt across Grenada on Friday resulted in a river overflowing its banks in one northern community. A resident in the hills of Munlong submitted footage of a surge of water rapidly flowing down the river, climbing its banks. The citizen journalist said the river originated from the hills in Fedon Camp, under which the village nestles. Thank our citizen journalist for that submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms. Preparation work intensifies to facilitate repairs on the Woodlands Main Road. We'll be back in a moment.
Grenada, get ready for the biggest Calypso clash of all time as Grenada 17th Annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, July 8th, Grenada Trade Center from 7:30 p.m.
Just show me the way you'll get from your father.
Our partners, Hubbard's, Grenada Paper Products, Granville Credit Union, Biden and Miners, Gittins Healthcare, Grenada Broadcasting Network, Guardian General, Spice Isle Imaging Center, Western Union, The Agriculture Shop, Clear Vision Eye Center, Springs Food Mart, Dollar Savers Auto Part, Rise and Shine Supermarket, Classic Lighting, Victory Bar, Budget Marine, Dean's Mattress, Grenada Trade Center, Creative Do It Best, Grenada Distillers Limited, Catwheels Stationery Service, Blue Bubbles, PA, Rentals and Event Supplies Company, Dana's Tasty Food, and City Inn. Please be seated by 7 p.m. because this one will be epic.
We got stoves, cook it, fry it, bake it, stew it, poach it, eat it, drink it, slurp it. At Quartz, you can get it. We got fridges, slurp it, chill it, freeze it, store it, crisp it, pack it, and stack it. At Quartz, you can get it. Wash or dryer it, wash it, fluff it, spin it, dry it, clean it, fold it, wear it, sort it, and soak it. Rinse it, load it. FDA gon' make you blend it, crush it, toast it. At Quartz, you can get it.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
$3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Welcome back to the news at 7. Government has not yet awarded a contract for the Woodlands Road project. A portion of the Woodlands Road to the Cliff Woburn is presently under review by engineers as government seeks to have the road repaired. Thus far, signs have been erected to divert trucks and other heavy vehicles through the Woburn Main Road. MIT Minister Andy Williams provides an update.
Woodlands project, that's a project where we look to widen the road from by the Springs part up to the Woburn Cliff. And if you traverse that area, you will see certain part of the road is sinking. So the idea is to really divert the traffic from going to the side to approach the roundabout by Springs and to send it through the Woburn area, because once we have vehicles continue to pass it, it will cause further deterioration to the road, and we don't want that. So we have notified the Woburn community on what we want to do, and we have placed the signs there that will divert the traffic into the Woburn area.
Minister Williams gave details about the status of the project.
What we decided to do on that project, the original design on that project, we thought that the road was too narrow, so we went back to the drawing board, and the idea is to widen the road much more. And by doing that, we can have a road that is really set for the future. And that is what we want to do. So it's not about just doing the road, but we want to do the road properly. And we are looking futuristic, really and truly, in doing it. At present, we have engineers looking at the road and doing designs so that we can widen the road. And they will come back to us and we can review it and see what's the best way forward in doing so.
Billboard unveiled as government's Visible Transformation project continues. Christina John attended the project's launch on Friday and filed this report.
Despite Friday's inclement weather, the ceremonial launch of the Visible Transformation project went ahead as planned, with the unveiling of a billboard on the Kirani James Boulevard, St. George. The caption reads, "Visible Transformation through People's Participation." The Visible Transformation project started last October with the cleaning and beautification of the land along the lagoon. The project also includes the clearing up of derelicts island-wide. This ongoing initiative is a collaborative effort involving the Royal Grenada Police Force, the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, Ministries of Infrastructure and Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, among other stakeholders. MIT Minister Andy Williams said this project is about taking pride in our country. He spoke on the enforcement of laws in maintaining their intent.
Part of this project aim is to really showcase the beauty of Grenada. Not only that, but we have to also look at the laws, enforcing the laws that we have to really sustain this project, because we can clean up today and tomorrow it can be the same as how we met it. Where the government was very ridiculed for having a low implementation rate. But we are also about improving Grenada, improving the aesthetics of Grenada. And it's not just through us, but it's about engaging the people and through people's participation. And we really want the public to really embrace this project, because this project will really take Grenada to the next level.
Caretaker for the town of St. George and Minister for Labor and Legal Affairs, Claudette Joseph, said resting on the NDC's message of transformation, it's time to deliver.
We are well aware that we can't deliver on the transformation agenda acting alone. We need partners. We need the people of Grenada to partner with us. We need the youth. We need businesses. We need relevant stakeholders, because the transformation that we speak of is not just about the physical. It is not just about a teaching hospital or a hall of justice or an agro-processing plant. It is also transforming our mindsets.
She added that part of the project is to bring back the town of St. George to what it originally was.
Part of this visible transformation project, we are going to be working aggressively and steadily to bring back the town and its environs to the pride and joy that it once held, so that we may once again be put on the agenda to be declared a World Heritage Site, and more importantly, that we, the residents and inhabitants of the town of St. George and the surroundings, will have a space that we are all proud about. It's a lot to be done. And
Friday's ceremony included a presentation of equipment to the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Stay with us. Sports is up next.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with multi-X added to Playway, and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Good evening, sporting fans. Premier League action continues this weekend. Saturday, FC Camahan plays SAB at Queen's Park, while Paradise will suit up against St. John's Sports inside of Progress Park. Then on Sunday, Hard Rock will lock horns with Hurricanes at Fawn. Playing at home, Happy Hill FC will entertain Mountrich from 7 p.m. Also at 7 p.m., Sunsetters and QPR will go head-to-head at Alston George Park. Moving now to cricket, the Grenada Cricket Association Annual Senior Super 50 Cup will pull off this weekend with 3 matches down on the card. Starting Saturday, St. George will play Carriacou at Beauséjour, while St. Mark will do battle against St. Patrick at Progress Park in St. Andrew. On Sunday, defending champion St. David will go head-to-head with Carriacou at Beauséjour. Still with cricket, Cricket West Indies, or CWI, has announced the appointment of Robert Samuels as the interim head coach for the West Indies women's team for the upcoming CG United One-Day International Series and West Indies T20 International Series against Ireland in St. Lucia. Samuels, a former Jamaica captain and West Indies batsman, played 6 Test matches and 8 ODIs in addition to 106 first-class matches and 77 List A matches. His most recent role was as assistant coach with the West Indies women's team. The interim assistant coaches are former West Indies spin bowler Ryan Austin and Steve Libbard, the former Leeward Islands batsman and captain. Libbard is the head coach of the West Indies Under-19 Rising Stars. The West Indies 18-member squad is presently at a training camp at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground in St. Lucia, where they are preparing to face Ireland women in the 3-match CG United ODI series, which starts on Monday, June 26. This will be followed by the 3-match T20I series from July 4th to July 8th. In the 13th match of the ICC Cricket World Cup Qualifiers 2023, Zimbabwe and West Indies are set to face off at the Harare Sports Club. This highly anticipated clash features 2 unbeaten teams, making it an exciting contest with one team bound to maintain their undefeated record. West Indies have also exhibited their strength in the tournament. They emerged victorious against the United States of America, triumphing by 39 runs. In their encounter with Nepal, West Indies claimed a comprehensive 101-run win. The team is eager to secure their 3rd consecutive triumph in the CWC Qualifiers 2023. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe showcased their dominance in their previous matches. They secured an impressive 8-wicket victory over Nepal. In their 2nd match against the Netherlands, Zimbabwe continued their winning streak. And that brought us to the end of your sports news. Stay with us for more news. And now for a look around the region. Trinidad and Tobago will be hosting the 45th Conference of the CARICOM Heads of Government this year, as well as its 50th anniversary. Details in this report.
This country will be hosting the 45th Conference of the CARICOM Heads of Government in July, as well as the body's 50th anniversary celebrations. Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amory Brown, said the formal opening ceremony of the conference will be on July 3rd, in which all 14 member states have confirmed their attendance. A commemorative event is also planned in Chaguaramas on the anniversary date of July 4th, followed by a plenary session at the Hyatt Regency and a gala event at Napa in the evening. Minister Brown said Trinidad and Tobago is privileged to host such an event for CARICOM.
This 50th anniversary of the founding of CARICOM is very significant for our region, and our commemorations will be of the level that will convey the importance of the event, that will allow for key introspection, deliberations, celebration of our achievements as a region, as well as reflection on the 50 years that have passed.
Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, is among several high-level officials expected to attend. Meanwhile, Minister Brown also announced a special visit by the current King of Asante from the Republic of Ghana for Emancipation Day celebrations in August.
Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. said that very carefully to get his name correct. He is the King of Ashanti, a very important member of royalty of the Republic of Ghana, who will be our chief guest for Emancipation Day celebrations in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Brown believes his visit will strengthen ties between TNT and Ghana.
Internationally, Matt Bradley looks at the differences between the attention given to the victims of the migrant boat sinking off Greece that killed at least 81 people and the missing Titan submersible that left 5 people presumed dead. More in this report.
So you could call it a tale of 2 maritime tragedies, the one we've been hearing about nonstop for days, in which rescuers are now almost certain that all 5 members of that submersible in the North Atlantic have died. And then there was that other one with the hundreds of migrants who likely died last week when their rickety boat sank off the coast of Greece. Many of them were probably children. Now, clearly, these 2 tragedies were treated very differently, both by the global media and by rescue workers. But why? On social media and beyond, some have said that race, politics, and economic status were major factors. The 5 men whose deaths were announced today were almost all millionaires and billionaires. And the migrants who perished off the Greek coast were effectively refugees, among the poorest and most desperate people on the planet. It's a troubling juxtaposition and one that does give cause for thought. But it's hardly an apples-to-apples comparison. As far as the media is concerned, well, it's easy to see why a bunch of wealthy people trapped in a makeshift submarine while visiting the Titanic might make for a gripping story. For many critics, it's the emergency response that illustrates a kind of favoritism. But that's also not so straightforward. More than 100 people were rescued from the Greek tragedy, thought to be one of the deadliest on the Mediterranean in recent memory. And unlike with the submarine, the migrant victims whose bodies weren't long ago presumed dead. After all, they weren't in a sealed submarine. But it's up to you to decide for yourself whether reporters and rescuers acted with professionalism or prejudice.
That's your regional and international news. Stay with us for a recap of the headlines. And now to recap the headlines. Forecasters say Cindy and Brett pose no threat to Grenada and its dependencies. Jaheim George remanded on non-capital murder charge in relation to Rickelson Toussaint's death. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell addresses unemployment as his government celebrates 1 year in office. And the GUT president says multi-grade teaching is becoming problematic. In the region, Trinidad and Tobago to host CARICOM celebrations in July. Internationally, hundreds still missing in migrant boat accident as sub-accident captures more attention. And in sports, GCA Super 50 bowls off tomorrow. Zimbabwe and West Indies are set to face off at Harare Sports Club. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I am Beverly Telesford. That's the news. Good night.